Hey, Nation, Harry here, back with Phelim. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Doing well, doing well. Things are looking up in the UK, but we're still in a bit of a lockdown. Not too much, not too much. What about you?
Oh, just getting busier. I'll tell you, it feels like it's getting back to normal. Had a little travel last week, and the airports are crowded. The plane was crowded as goofy. So, hey, I want to talk about. So, in fact, part of my travel. Let me give you the context of this month's topic on labor and cybersecurity. Um, I actually went out for a long weekend. My youngest son graduated from Cal Poly, and so I went out to
Congratulations.
California. Thank you. Got him across the finish line, and he starts a job with one of our friends at the Family Fortinet. He starts on July 12th in Sunnyvale, down in the Silicon Valley, in cybersecurity, and he'll start. I believe it's a cohort. 7 employees will start that day, so it's a cohort. It's the real deal. And I went up on the Fortinet site, and they have 900 job openings. And then I've done a little bit of reading, right? I kind of poking around the internet, and the cybersecurity area is one of the hottest areas in technology. But there's arguments. There's a labor shortage for cybersecurity. Your thoughts on that?
There is a labor shortage, but why is there a labor shortage? That's maybe where people don't agree, because there is a school of thought to say you're just not developing your own stuff somewhere else in the company, which have potential. And there's another school of thought to say there are experts out there, but the way that you sift CVs or you employ some sort of AI to sift CVs means that you lose people. So
Yep.
some people, when they're looking for diverse candidates, they say that there is a skills bottleneck, but there's one of my good friends who runs an association in Texas for diverse talent says there's not a shortage at all. They're all there looking for work. It's just the parameters you set. So yeah, there is a skill shortage, but there's another problem. How do you prove that you have these skills? And a lot of people gravitate towards doing a master's in cybersecurity or this and that. But how many people in cybersecurity have cybersecurity masters? Not that many,
Correct.
right? They do it as icing on cake. It's a bit of a navel gazing exercise. And equally, a lot of people in cyber don't have the skills to code, which
Correct.
I mean might put you off if you think, oh no, I have to learn Ruby, Python, and everything else, but you don't. So it's a roundabout way of saying there is a skill shortage, but the world disagrees about why.
Yeah. Yeah. I would concur. Yeah, my son, his tried this on for size. Now this is his first real job, right? I mean, real job, and um, and I believe his coworkers had fallen into the same camp. So he's going to go through a pretty formal training program over the summer, which I like, right? I think that first job. There's some companies that were really famous for their training programs, like Procter and Gamble and IBM. So that's cool, right? You got to learn how work works. But his major was fintech or financial technology in the Department of Economics. And, you would have thought he was going down a very different pathway. But because of the labor shortage, and I could go on and on about this, do we all do what we got our college degree in? The answer is absolutely not. Life happens. The college degree is a good foundation. At the 4 year level, it makes you, it rounds you out, would be one nice way to put it. But so he's going to get trained, and then he's not a coder. Now he has taken some of the languages in the dashboarding because of fintech, right? But he's not really a programmer. And so they're going to put him over in business development, probably in what they call SLED, state and local government, and what is SLED is state, local, education, and I think federal, somewhere in there. But it
Mm.
basically covers the government sector, and so he's pretty excited. I mean, that obviously is where a lot of the action of this in terms of ransomware and so on. But yeah, it'll be interesting to track his pathway. I they're it was cool that they're hiring they're thinking outside the box in their hiring, Phelim, that, to your point, you don't have to have a certificate or a master's in cybersecurity because they wouldn't be able to hire enough people.
Yeah. You could argue that a master's in cyber isn't the skills that you need for cyber. It's a little bit like someone that's been in the military doing a master's in war studies. It is good for strategy. It's good for navel gazing. But is it what you need for hands-on operations? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe some are. But then you make a great point with the example of your son embarking on a career in business development. People say there's a shortage in cyber, but they forget to also say, did you know it's an HR role, or it's a BD role, or it's an evangelist role, or it's a marketing role, as well as some of the operational SOC analysts and so on. And you know what, that has been a little bit of a beef. You see a beef in LinkedIn and Twitter between the technical cyber colleagues and the non-technical ones, because people arrive in their job and they want to, show the world what they're doing and say, look, this is me and this is my profession. But there is a little nervousness from the technical colleagues that say, oh, but you don't have any technical background. And that's where I think they forget that the cyber community is bigger than, a coder. It's bigger than a sysadmin.
No, absolutely. I'll end on that note. It's a little bit like oil field services. So people think oil and they think the derricks and the rigs, right? The little sawhorses that go up and down and all that. No, it's not. Oil field services includes like security guards that drive around in pickup trucks, right, to guard the facility. It's a huge industry. And I would offer cybersecurity resembles that. I mean, think about it. At the Fortinet campus in Sunnyvale, with that rate of hiring and that number of open jobs, very simple example, but the employee cafeteria will have to have more people working in the cafeteria to feed these people, right? I mean, it's a multiplier effect. So,
it is.
Hey, before we go, when's your next show? What's going on? I see that you're still pretty active. You have one coming up in the near term.
I've got basically one every week. Wow. I've got a German event this week, and I've got the Los Angeles County on the 30th of June. I'm going to do my first physical event in Phoenix August 19th, although the jury's out on whether we'll be allowed in. I've got people locally to do it, but I think that's a good message, that we're going to continue these virtual events because they are so handy, but they get something different to what we offer on the physical side, and I think they're going to remain.
Oh yeah, no, knowledge is power, and all right, well, man, you're busy. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for being our regular contributor. You always bring something to the table. Thank you.
Thanks, Harry. Great meeting with you.
All right.